Like most people, I think we've all found ourselves in relationships where, at a certain point, we just kind of stop listening to the other person's crap. They could be spitting out winning lottery numbers from the future, and we wouldn't hear them because they've trained us not to listen. That's where Star Wars is right now, and there's only one way to fix it.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
All right, let me cook here a little bit. Picture it. When you sit down to watch a show, it's like inviting people into your home. They briefly become a part of your family, literally weaving themselves into the fabric of your shared collective family memory. These guests tell you a story about their lives, and if it's well told, you engage with them, connect, empathize, you grow fond of them, and ultimately you find yourself wanting to hear more of their story. So you invite them into your home again and again. In the case of The Acolyte, the guest you invited into your home took a massive, premeditated dump on your carpet.
Premeditated dump?
Shall I describe it to you?
And you rightfully say, hey, whoa, wait, we invited you into our home. We trusted you, welcomed you in with open arms, and you took a shit on our living room floor. And their response is, you're racist, you're an ist, you're a phobe. You don't like girls.
And that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative.
Y'all smoking crack! Something is wrong with you people!
Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but...
Your jaw hits the floor. I'm not any of those things, and you're deliberately ignoring what you just did on our floor. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Would you please leave without a fuss right now?
Okay.
Now, as a consequence, you never invite them back into your home. It's just common sense. That's what happened to Skeleton Crew. It's really sad. It wouldn't have mattered how good this show was. Luke himself could have shown up again, and no one would have cared because they shit on our floor and refused to take accountability for it. But as it turns out, Skeleton Crew was actually pretty good. It was formulaic, but well written. The characters each had an arc and they were well developed. The money spent on the budget was on the screen.
The supervisor was a Dalek. That was weird.
Seize the imposter.
The one scene that will always stand out to me was the last time we see Jod. He's standing there watching his ship crash into the planet, his dreams literally going down in flames. And we see all sorts of emotions visibly washing over his face as he takes this in, including possibly a new idea, a new plan.
A pinprick of light in the darkness.
His arc was already done, but the writers came back for this one moment. Sure, it was probably to leave a little wiggle room for another season, but they easily could have accomplished that without this scene. Sometimes the absolute best scenes are the ones without dialogue. Let the actor cook, and Jude Law can cook. It was a brilliant character moment that reaffirmed to me that these writers took their job seriously and actually cared about what they were doing. They didn't need to include this scene, but they did it anyway because it was the right thing to do. The kids were also well cast and acted their butts off.
One was another obvious Kennedy self-insert again.
Sure, the show didn't break any new ground or expand the lore much, but it didn't need to. Considering we're talking about Disney, this show was more in line with the values and image the company used to have. I would have expected something like this as their first Disney Plus show for Star Wars. You know, something like the Ewok movies, the target audience being the kids with a good moral message and an underscore of the importance of family.
Diabetes.
But does this save Star Wars? Absolutely not. Will Andor Season 2 save Star Wars? Not a chance. Will the Mandalorian and Grogu movie save Star Wars? No. At best, they might get a hit like Deadpool and Wolverine, this isolated success that has no real impact on the wider cinematic universe.
You're joining at a bit of a low point.
What about the pause?
Yeah, it's been rumored that they're going to put the brakes on Star Wars content in favor of trying to rescue the MCU, which is probably a good idea. But while a rest might give us time to heal and certainly give Disney time to replace all the toxic people at Lucasfilm who created this mess, it's still not going to solve the problem. It all comes back to that accountability thing I mentioned earlier. If they want fans to come back, Disney has to acknowledge to the fans that they screwed the pooch.
Excuse me?
If you want to get those fans back, you have to erase the sequel trilogy. Full stop. I made a theory video a while ago about how potentially they can fix things story-wise in Season 2 of Ahsoka. My theory actually included the fact that Dave Filoni may have been trying to do that under Kathleen Kennedy's nose in Season 1 of Ahsoka, and that's part of the reason why the season turned out the way it did. But this situation can be fixed without even addressing it story-wise. Just say, hey, we heard you. We screwed up. We're redoing the sequel trilogy right this time with people who actually care. Maybe they go back to George's original treatments like they promised. Actually, in the interest of winning people back, that would probably be the best selling point, so that would be ideal.
What about the Crapolite?
Well, as far as that's concerned, you don't need to address it at all. Like the turd on your carpet, you clean it up and get on with your day. Everyone's gonna forget it was ever there.
It's been years since I've busted out a turd on this carpet.
Right, because you have the capacity to learn, and you're a dog. Lucasfilm and Disney have been refusing to learn that lesson, and only time will tell if the death of a good show like Skeleton Crew will make them wake up and start doing things that will make them money again. But what did you think of Skeleton Crew? Can they turn this around? What's the current annual rainfall of the Amazon basin given the current rate of deforestation? Let us know in the comments and stay fresh, cheese bags.